With the Socratic strategic questions, the teacher asks the question, you give the kids time to think. So the question might be, say for example, if we're doing, say, place value, how could you describe this number using non-standard place value? Give the children time to think, and then say to the kids, turn to the person next to you and take it in turns to ask that question. So if the child doesn't know what non-standard place value is yet, the minimum that they're getting is they're turning to the child next to them and they're saying, what do you know about non-standard place value? Or how could we describe that number using non-standard place value? So the minimum that they've done is they've used the language. So as they're learning the concept, they're using the language with a partner. Now their partner can either explain what they know about non-standard place value and that number, or if they don't know what it is yet either, they can just say, I'm not sure yet. And again, that yet brings in growth mindset, because it's not, oh, that's it, I just don't know and I'll never know. It's a yet. And even I might even find out in this lesson what it is, okay? So then, and also you can strategically pair up kids so that you don't have two kids who don't know. In the first lesson, obviously no one will know, but you still get them to ask the question, because now they're thinking, oh, we're learning about non-standard place value. I've said the words non-standard place value. I don't know what that is. Okay, ready to learn what non-standard place value is. So in the beginning of the lesson, when you do this, and all the way through the lesson, but in the beginning when you say, what do you know about non-standard place value, or any time you ask a strategic Socratic question that the kids then ask each other, you're free to roam and listen to what every single child is saying to each other. And again, you can be strategic and look at these kids today and those kids tomorrow and so on. So you're getting assessment for learning every single time you ask a question. Because often we'll ask a really good question like, how could you describe this number using non-standard place value? 2 or 3 kids put up their hand, you ask one of them answers, probably right, and then you move on. But 27 out of 30 of the kids had no idea even what non-standard place value was. Or even worse, it's not that those kids didn't want to answer and didn't want to think, it's that they weren't given the opportunity to think. So giving the kids the opportunity to think about, okay, non-standard place value, how would I describe that number? Now I'm going to ask my partner, my partner's going to ask me, we're going to have a chat. And initially when you do this with the older kids, they just go a bit silly, but literally within about 3 lessons, they love the fact that they're allowed to talk to their partner about what they're learning. And again, if you have different partners all the time, that's really good. So then after you've heard that, you can then say, okay, who's ready to share what they're thinking about non-standard place value? And you have heard some kids who had some good explanations, you've heard some kids who didn't know, you've heard some kids who had some misunderstandings. So this is where you can then start to address those in the lesson. And it's not by calling out the child who got it wrong or calling out the child who doesn't know. It's about, okay, so let's think about this. We know what standard place, and then